Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Sam.
and this is
Wise Words for Dodo Birds.
Yeah, well, welcome back, everybody. We are excited for this episode. We are going to we've implemented some changes. We're getting better all the time. You now can see us. Hello for the first time.
Yep. We're live with the camera, and we have a producer.
Yes, we've got a man on the boards here. So we're doing some big things in the podcast space. I think, we're going to win the podcast equivalent Grammy.
Well, it's like we were saying, nowhere to go but up. So,
yeah.
Having a third person here, we have 3 microphones, and this way it's just everything hopefully will go a little more fluid as time goes on. Because right now, it's a learning process, but
No, we're nailing it. We're at the highest level. Watch out, Joe Rogan. And
watch out, Joe Rogan.
some other true crime podcast, I'm sure, for wine moms. But yeah, so we're going to get right into it. As always, thank you for watching. Watching now, not listening.
Thank you for watching, not just listening.
And we're gonna hit a couple of news articles here, and we are going to get into it. Hope you guys enjoy this episode.
We were thinking about starting with a new formula, kind of. We're adding a third person, and our buddy Ian. Ian, say hi, because again.
Yeah. Hello.
He's me and Mike are still going to be the blabbermouths that are constantly talking about shit we think we know, and Ian's going to be here to kind of help us actually know, rather than just sit here and speculate and do shit on our phones. But anyways, so the new formula is going to kind of involve we're going to talk about some current events in the beginning. That's what we're going to jump into in a minute.
Yeah. So hit us with a news article, Ian, please.
All right. So I thought we should start with this.
Let's go for the news first.
The news, the NPR.
Yeah.
Yep. What's happening right now?
All right. So unique ways Americans celebrate the holidays, from skiing Santas to Festivus feats.
Yeah, so we saw this one earlier. What kind of stuff is this talking about exactly? I mean,
you want to zoom in for us?
On the text. Just remember the
control.
Yep.
It works on this one too?
Yeah.
It works on all of it.
Oh, nice. All right, so it talks about different random traditions, like lobster trap trees in New England, caroling in caves in Wisconsin. Where's that?
Use the center scroll button, pull the caroling in caves hyperlink up. I want to see if it's close to us. Yeah.
Caroling in caves. Did it say Christmas on the Limestone?
Cave in the Mounds.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
That's close to us.
Yeah.
That's not far.
That's on the way to Madison, yeah.
You want to do some caroling, bro?
I'm all about that shit, man.
Do you know any carols? Off the top of your head, could you, gun to your head, it's sing me a fucking song, bro?
Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way.
I would say I know a lot of them, but I wouldn't say I know all the words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. It's you just repeat a lot of the same words, the ones that you hear all the time.
Yeah, Christmas.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Right.
Santa, Christ. There's themes there.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah. But I actually, it sounds like that would be cool in caves, though. Because you'd go into the caves and people would be singing, be all this acoustics, this echoing going on.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if you have people who can really sing, too, someone who can belt it.
Yeah. You're,
obviously there's going to be people there who sound like shit, like there's a gun to their head.
Yeah, you'd be breaking glass for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I
didn't even know that they did that.
I bet you that's why they're doing it too, just to see how that shit sounds.
The acoustics, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's possibly dangerous too. the cavitations of the
Right.
the voice hitting a certain note.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
like everybody's crushing it, and then the cave
Right.
starts to fall. That's the coolest way. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Carolers
That's the
killed in a
finale.
tragic accident, but they
Right.
all fucking killed it.
yeah.
Like
They
that's
killed
the,
it before it killed them.
Yeah, that's the coolest caroling story. Like objectively, it's like, yeah, I lost my soulmate in a caroling accident in the caves.
Yeah,
Right.
Caroling accident. Yeah.
Let's
And
go
that's
back
where
to
our
that other
story
article.
begins.
That other article.
But they
and-
made the Darwin Award, so that's great.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Go back to the which one?
To the
The main article that
that we were
skiing Santas and
Okay, that one.
yeah. There we go.
there we
So
go.
yeah, to caroling in caves in Wisconsin. All right. So in Denver, people keep their Christmas lights on until the National Western Stock Show ends in late January.
Wow.
Holy shit! I mean, people find any excuse to leave their Christmas lights on because it's a bitch and a half putting those things up. So
this is cool. In St. Louis, costume Santas perform flash mobs in busy streets
what?
and swim with,
With
aquarium
aquarium
sharks.
sharks?
What the fuck? I'm not Christmasing right.
Dude, I was gonna say,
Right?
I thought Christmas was something else. I'm learning that there is a metal or a punk version.
Yeah, what else do we got?
They make trees out of materials that are unique to their state. Christmas trees.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. And one of them is a Jack Daniels. Like,
Oh yeah.
like what represents us the most?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Like ours would be like,
Tumbleweed tree in Arizona. 700 ton
that
sand
tumbleweed
tree.
tree is 30 plus feet.
So like a sand castle, they have a sand tree in Florida.
Jesus.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, Santa rappels down nature's chimney. What does that mean?
Oh, it's
okay. There's a picture there.
So is it like a festival of rock climbing Santas? Because that's cool.
That
How do
is
you get in that club?
Right?
like where do they meet?
It's just
Rock
like
pa-
once a
yeah.
year they all meet
It's actually called
anonymously.
Chimney Rock.
Oh, that's
Wow.
sick.
Okay.
So, yeah.
A 315-foot freestanding rock spire that, dude, this is
North-
some of the most
North
gangster
Carolina.
ass Santas I've ever fucking heard
Oh,
of,
yeah.
dude.
Hiking trails. Oh, that's so cool. Anything else?
We went over, but there was surfing Santas in California.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I wonder if you have to be in the full suit still. You
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get to be like a California bro with like a Santa
No.
beard.
No. You got to be in the full suit for sure. That shit that like will absolutely drag you down to the bottom of the channel if you fall in.
Yeah.
Speaking of California, on that note, real quick, that is where our producer here is from, by the way. To the dodo bird listening who doesn't
Yes.
know anything about us,
Yeah, so we have
he lives here in Wisconsin.
we're representing all you're like the South, but it's more central of the country.
Yeah, never would be described as the South.
And then
California.
No,
you're
me,
all the
me.
way down there.
Yeah.
And I'm a northern boy.
Yeah, and then we got West Coast, we got deep South, and then born and bred in the fucking Midwest over here.
In the depth of the snow.
And I
And I hate it still. I'm bad at it.
But there is something to be said about the North. And that like that hard people that get bred from the winters.
Yeah, and you're like not very South either.
No, I specifically I did a lot to shed that when I moved here.
Oh, so like
You don't have a strong opinion about which barbecue is better. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like the photo that you'll see at the very beginning of this is skiing Santas, and it said that in what state was it? It doesn't matter. You don't have to show it again.
Yeah.
But
Wow,
it-
that's a lot of them. Wow, that's worth going back to, actually. I just saw the guy up front. I did not notice all the ones behind him.
Yeah, if you're down at that article again, it said that there's 300 Santas that get together to ski the slopes, and they do like a special day for it.
And
It's called like
That's in Maine.
yeah, Santa Sunday, and they do like entry fee of like $27.
Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Dude, I, like you said, Mike, just haven't been doing Christmas right, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not actually a fan of like skiing, snowboarding, and shit like that, but some of these Santas are doing shit that I could really get behind,
yeah. Oh, what's Texas do?
A Festivus event. Feats of Strength.
Feats of, that
Yeah,
sounds very
Festivus.
Texas.
Okay, yeah, that is definitely the one from Seinfeld. It's a made-up holiday. It's got plenty of play. Yeah. Yeah, it's a secular celebration. So it's
Oh,
like,
cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
so weird that Texas is like
for
keep
the rest of
Christ
us.
out of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
What
It's
the hell?
actually okay. It's for the rest of us.
Festivus
Festivus.
for the rest of us.
Oh, wow. Hey.
Dude, somebody in their marketing
Yeah.
department needs a raise.
Dude, for real.
Instead of trading gifts, the head of the household challenges a guest to a wrestling match.
Rather than sharing happy memories or words of thanks at the dinner table, friends and family members must take turns sharing how others disappointed them that year.
Airing their grievances.
That almost seems like parody, but this is from NPR. Like,
Yeah. No, not making this shit up. That's for
that's
sure.
hilarious,
No, I mean,
dude.
yeah.
It's like, all right, Jimmy, it's Christmas morning. Get out of the
Right.
front yard and let's fucking throw down. Like,
You know what, though? I can get behind some of that shit. I really can.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mostly taken off because it is a secular, like, way to celebrate Christmas.
Dude.
And,
It seems
My
metal,
whole family
too.
would like that, I think. I mean, I don't know about all of them wanting to wrestle people or whatever, but just secular ways to celebrate
Right.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Like,
you-
we like the holiday, but keep the Christ out of it.
If you could make your own, like, family tradition going forward, what would it be like?
Well, see, I really like what my family does.
Yeah.
They usually just, they stay, but there's no, without all the Christy stuff. It's just
Yeah.
like they do a Christmas tree.
Well, let's
my
say
dad likes to make turkey.
you're well off, you have a nice house, family's a little too old to host, and you're hosting in Sam's Christmas. What's like something that you would do that?
trying to think of maybe just one thing,
Yeah,
Because there's a lot. There's a lot of things. I'm trying to think, like, what would the one thing
Like
be?
making people carol, or like, the thankful around the table.
I would want to fit. Yeah, I would want to fit some sort of, because like I don't know if I actually said it on Dodo Birds, but like I'm not since I'm not a religious person. The one thing, the thing I worship is Earth, right?
Yeah.
I've told a lot of people this, so I'd find a way to fit that in there without it being too weird, because some people do get a little too weird when it comes to their worshiping of the Earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't want it to be weird, but it would definitely be like our way of showing, like, we know what our God is. We know what sustains us, what brought us here. There would be some kind of thing, probably Christmas would
Okay.
probably be for that.
I like
yeah.
that. It's like taking it back to the pagan kind of
Yeah.
traditions. Mine would be similar. I would also praise Mother Gaia, the goddess of cannabis.
The goddess of cannabis.
And I would love to do like Christmas cookie roulette with my family. And just have like a few edibles in the batch of Christmas
That'd be
cookies.
hella funny, dude.
Yeah, because like everybody, I don't know how many people have gotten their grandma like, meet Jesus stoned, but
Well, and see, I would love to do that. My only issue is, like, I have family members who I think, like, both my parents it'd probably be hilariously funner day than they were expecting.
Oh, and it would be consensual. Like, you know the
Right,
deal.
right, exactly. But, like, somebody
if
like
you're
my
eating
sister, no.
cookies, you're taking that risk. You know, I'm not forcing you to eat a cookie when you walk
Just
in
let
the door.
everyone know this
Right.
is what you're signing up for.
Yeah,
Let's see
that
what
would be a
happens.
tradition. It would
Yeah.
be fun, you know? Like, sometimes you have an uncle that drinks too much. It's like, ooh, you know, Aunt Becky got a little stony, you know?
Yeah, that sounds cool for sure.
That'd be in legal states, of course,
Right.
using legal means.
So what about for you, Ian? What would your ideal,
Yeah, like, what's a tradition
one,
you would
just your
start?
one thing that you would start?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like how did you guys like grow up? Like, was it more of a secular kind of like just celebrating Christmas for Christmas sake, or was there a lot of religion thrown in?
Mine's like vaguely religious flavored. My parents aren't like really, they're not church people, but my mom still,
Sprinkled a little bit in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
how
she's
I would
thankful
describe
for
mine
God.
mostly. Also, it was like it was like we sang the songs, and like you said, they're full of Jesus, full of
Well, yeah, especially back in, you're talking about the 80s, right? Late 70s and early mid 80s. Yeah.
And maybe we'd hang our heads right say grace right before eating and everything, but for the most part that was it.
it was
like
rather secular as well.
yeah.
Yeah, no, and mine, it was. That's the thing. My parents, we did do a little religion or a little church in the beginning. Dad was never a believer. Mom was as a kid, but by the time we were doing it, I don't think she was. And it was one of those things. Actually, and Ian said this to me in private conversation before. I think it was just about this is what you do. This is about morals. Trying to instill some morals, and it's like you don't necessarily need that. And I think my parents figured that out quick, but they actually kept up they kept up the Santa Claus lie longer than they kept up the Jesus lie.
Yeah,
Which-
and that's a non-secular kind of thing, like, because back in the day, 100 years ago, it was a religious holiday,
Yeah,
purely.
it really
Yeah.
was. Yeah, and
Before Coca-Cola got involved.
That's a fun fact I always bring up, like whenever Christmas comes around. It's like Coca-Cola is the reason that Santa is red.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like he was in most pictures he was depicted as green.
green. Yeah, he had the
And
green suit.
and the red color comes from Coca-Cola campaigns.
And
Yeah, they
actually-
literally got a bunch of kids in a room and, like, tried out the different colors and were like, which one seems the nicest to you? And it's like the blood red one.
the blood red. one.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't describe it as blood red. It's Christmas red.
But see,
It's a brighter-
It
it is
wasn't
a brighter-
Christmas red at that time.
Crimson and Christmas, same colors.
Right, same thing.
It is a brighter red, though. Yeah.
For sure.
I actually had a question for both of you. How old were you when you stopped believing in Santa Claus? When it was told to you?
You're definitely at that age where like you almost can't remember, but
That's fortunate because I was
Right.
old enough to. I think I was 8.
8 seems about right though. Like I mean 6 maybe. Yeah.
I wish I. Had
I
been,
definitely feel like it was like the kids at school that were like, you're
See,
stupid for.
That's the thing. I wish that I had been told sooner because I argued. I was like, no, you guys just don't fucking get it, man.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm the dumbass.
I mean, once it was like, because we didn't write letters to Santa, but we did have like, a wish list.
Okay.
And then one of those things on the wish list would come from, I'd get something from Santa and it'd be in my dad's handwriting, and it was like,
A little sus.
yeah, a little sus. It was not well hidden, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was for me, is that I was working my way towards not believing, but I caught my parents.
yeah.
Yeah.
I found my presents the
That's what
next
it.
day.
I guess that's what it was.
And then
for
one
me
of them
too,
was from
yeah.
Santa later, and you're
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
sus. Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
You find the presents. See, that was the thing. They didn't wait for Christmas to tell us. Like, we didn't have to like. Once I found the presents in the closet, me and my sister did. It was like the jig is up. Like
Yeah.
it's over.
It's time to have the talk.
Yeah. Like,
I wish there was like a religious way to do that too. Like, it's like, I found the presents in the closet, Mom. I know Santa's not real.
right.
Yeah, well,
Insert
I found Jesus.
There also isn't like
Yeah.
there isn't a religious connection to Santa.
Yeah.
There isn't. And
Like,
actually, I
yeah.
went to shame upon me for this because I don't like to admit it out loud often. But when I was a kid, there was this girl. So I went to her youth group, just because I was hanging out with her. And I learned how religious people feel about Santa Claus. And they're actually not super thrilled.
Not a
about
big
yeah.
fan.
Yeah, they're not fans.
Yeah, especially
Yeah.
like if there's magic involved, that's big no-no and all that stuff too.
That's devilry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and they actually spent because we were doing this arts and crafts thing. I don't remember how old I was. Maybe like 12, 13. I was like old enough to know better than to think that I was getting anything out of this other than hanging out with this girl. But like, there was definitely this list she went through where like what Santa Claus does for you and what Jesus does for you.
Yeah.
And it's like, which one sounds more real? And I was sitting there trying my best not to giggle. I was
Santa
just like,
Claus has more tangible powers, it seems.
honestly,
He's got slavery. He's got, he's got,
that army of slave elves.
reindeer that fly. Seems pretty cut and dry. Jesus's powers are a little bit less quantifiable.
Yeah, like walking on water.
Yeah.
And
But
turning
like sometimes,
water
like we
into wine.
with Santa Claus, you know what the deal is. He does this
That's true.
every year. I don't know how many times
Right.
Jesus was able to turn water into wine. I would like to know, like if it was like 1,846 times he did that. Be like,
I'd be
okay,
like,
cool.
Okay, now I'm starting to. Well, they also that
It helps you quantify.
just on the whole Jesus thing. If they had numbers like that, they had something. I'd be a lot more inclined to believe some of the shit. It's like, oh yeah. Also, by the way, he did like he resurrected. No, wait, he resurrected himself, right?
Yeah.
Did he save other people from the dead? Is that the theory?
He helped with like lepers, so people that were gonna die, he helped.
Oh, he
kind of
helped-
yeah.
like.
See now, do they
And
have
the
names?
blind see.
Who?
I
What people
think they
who lived
do.
because of this guy.
See, that's the numbers and specifics that they'll give you. Is like,
They do.
they'll
have
give you
names?
like the most boring like details.
yeah.
Like it's like the
And I want the year. I want the month. I want the day. Maybe I get it. Back then, the day was hard, but they were keeping track of time.
yeah.
Yeah.
What was Tolkien's San Marillion? He wrote like a Bible essentially,
Oh.
like a world building.
Okay.
The Sacrillium, or I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, like he was overly specific and it's zero fun to read. That's
Okay.
exactly how the Bible is written.
Yeah. That's exactly how the Bible is written. I never read it. Yeah, I've tried a couple times, and it's just the most boring storybook.
Front to
ever.
back, baby, couple times.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike, he's had his bouts with the Christianity.
I definitely was raised that way and read and been read to certain books of the Bible, but yeah.
I hope you
I
tell
definitely
the
haven't
story.
read it from cover to cover.
Oh, I was gonna say when
It's
I
not
met
even
Ian-
the best way to do it. Like,
No,
No.
it's probably not.
No.
you stack a lot of those stories together and they don't make any sense, but if you cherry pick them, they can make some sense
Oh, yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
You wanna know?
There's something for everybody in that book. That's,
Yeah.
Let's say well, and there's a way that's sort of on off topic. The way I found out Ian was atheist or at least agnostic was when I
Right.
met him. We started talking about this, and he's like, "Yeah, I grew up, I think, Christian technically, and then I was moved around a little bit based on, I think it was like a girl here, and like
Yeah.
your dad changed, so you changed or
Yeah.
whatever, and it was just
It was
like, oh,
definitely
okay.
like-
he just doesn't
They
care.
were all Christian religions, to be fair.
yeah, all the
But like
okay.
different
But yeah, I
sects.
was like
Yeah.
Lutheran for a while.
It's crazy how many sects there are. It's like we put beans in our chili, so we're
Yeah. Like
West
I,
New
I
Hampshire-
noticed no difference. Maybe the Catholics, I was definitely like a
The
Catholic
Catholics
for a
are more
while,
hardcore.
and they are more different than
But
most,
The
especially with their
cosplaying Christians.
traditions.
Dude, like Catholics are so crazy with like the fact that there's still a guy or many guys today in the bishop outfit
yeah,
with
I
like
see
the
one-
gold
I see one
trim.
here.
Oh yeah,
When I
Dude,
deliver-
no,
like-
they're about their pomp and
That's so crazy. They're just like LARPing like religion,
Oh
you know.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I'm a grand high mage of
Yeah.
Latter-day Saints.
I love how, by the way, I love how we got on that rant from like talking about Santa Clauses doing cool shit. Like we went.
Yeah, was there anything else we wanted to touch
Yeah,
on
where
that
were
one?
we on that?
There is, not to diminish it, but like
Just some different
But
ones.
like they include the Jewish,
Yeah.
celebrations, the Hanukkah and the. Did you guys have any friends who were Jewish growing up and do any of the dreidel spinning?
no.
I did.
I don't think I did.
Do tell, Ian.
Um.
Yeah, whatever you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Remember?
like they just had like different traditions.
You-
it was all eight days. They get a present like every day on the 8 days. Light a candle every day.
To you,
at
did
night.
Hanukkah seem more lit than Christmas, like as a kid, without
More
knowing
lit,
much
no.
about it?
No, definitely it was because it was 8 days, so every day was like less, not the day. So like every day was
Right.
kind of just like here's your gift. Okay,
Yeah.
see you tomorrow.
It's a drawn out process.
Yeah, it's a drawn out process, so therefore it's not as like
Meaningful or
big
exciting?
and meaningful. Yeah. So like I definitely prefer like the whole Christmas days. Like today's the day,
Yeah.
going to sleep beforehand. Oh, when I wake up, everything's gonna be
Dude,
magical.
There was nothing like Christmas Eve as a kid.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
as a kid, it's I love it. What is it? This he says in F is for family, because like he's talking about how 4th of July is the greatest day of the year, right? And his daughter's like, I thought Christmas was the best day of the year, and he goes, Christmas is only good for kids. When you're an adult, it breaks you.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
just like, I can kind of relate. I mean, I don't have kids, so it doesn't break me like financially.
And I think it's
But-
also more traditional that now people don't buy a gift for every single one of their relatives. They like,
Yeah.
Right.
they like, do the
Yeah,
the
that
wrap.
was. Yeah, I would say that was in the 70s.
Yeah.
If it's for families talking about that, but like, and it is one of those things. It's just like less of the magic is there when you're
For
an
sure.
adult. Like, Christmas comes around and it's just like, if you have family, which I do, so that part of it makes me happy. But like, if you don't, like, if you don't do anything, it's just like, it's just like I imagine it's miserable.
Yeah,
I imagine
no, it
Christmas
is
sucks.
definitely one of those holidays that like you notice it on the day, and you're like, everybody's doing family things. Like I being away from my family here, like I definitely feel a little bit of that,
Mm-hmm.
But
That's why you visit mine.
yeah, I have a luxury. I have a surrogate family here
Oh, that's cool.
that I get to hang out with on the important holidays.
And that's what I try to take from it, just like nowadays, especially because like as a kid, yeah, the magic was there. It was nice. I loved it so much more whenever it was like this magical holiday. And it was never about Jesus.
Was
Yeah.
it even about thinking Santa was real though? Because like after that's blown
See,
out of the
after-
water, it was still magical.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't I don't think it had to do with Santa because
It added to it.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, as far as like he's out there right
It
now.
kind of eased you into it as
Yeah,
a
go to
kid.
bed or else,
like,
you're
to
not
get
gonna-
you excited for it.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
even after that, it was like, because my parents, even after the Santa Claus thing got spoiled, it was like, you ain't getting any presents until Christmas Day.
Yeah.
It's like now you can sit and look at them all under the tree.
Right.
And wish you had them.
Plus, like if you looked in the closet and found them, you're like you don't get to play with them yet.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like now you just
No,
get to
you
torture
get to wait.
yourself. And
Now I have to be a good actor and act surprised.
but it was actually also an element of like my parents did kind of like did let us know like, just put it on your list and we'll get it up to
Right.
this much money. is
Right,
worth,
right. Nothing ridiculous. Yeah.
Well, it could be something ridiculous, but if it's like $200, like that's it. That's
Yeah,
what you get.
Fair enough
And,
too. Yeah.
And I think eventually, because one of those years I got a guitar actually. And,
Yeah. Did you ever get a console or anything?
those were birthday presents more
Okay.
often. I don't think I ever got a console for Christmas. I think maybe as a family we might have gotten a GameCube,
Okay.
but I can't remember.
I think that's the way that my family handled it too, because I have an older brother, and when we got a console, it was like both of ours. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we did it for a long time till we grew up, and then we were like, once we were teenagers, we just bought our own shit. And again, that's
Yeah.
the thing. Like Christmas came around, and it was like, I remember because Tommy's birthday was Christmas, so it's like I wanted to go hang out with him. So it was just kind of like another day off from school, Christmas was by that time, and it wasn't that was bad. It just that magical sort of like, aspect of it was kind of gone by
Yeah.
then, by the time of being like a late teenager.
Anytime you have to deal with the logistics of something, it's less fun. Like traveling or,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
when you're
that's-
aware of. Yeah.
Ian, you can talk a little about that. Ever since you moved here, trying to go home for the holidays, it's like it's a
Oh yeah,
it's a
I mean,
fucking nightmare.
it was usually the time I would go back, but yeah, it was.
It became not because of the misery, right?
Yeah, because I had to like see so many different people and touch base with so many different families, and yeah, it became stay for 4 hours, move on to the next place, and like I didn't get to actually enjoy it. It was too much work.
Yeah.
It is a lot easier just to go and see my mom and my dad and my brother and keep it to that. But although I do
Even
miss
that.
everybody.
Yeah, but even that
Yeah.
it's just because like airports and shit during the holidays,
Yeah.
highways in California, God.
And it was like the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it takes the fun away.
Yeah. Like on the 27th, we're doing this. 28th, we're doing this.
Yeah.
And if any of those plans get messed up, all the other plans after are going to get messed up.
And by the way, this is your vacation. Are you having fun?
That is
Like,
that is a big part of it too.
tedious
It's like,
scheduling and
the last
Yeah.
couple times I've gone back to California, I have not like just chilled.
It didn't really feel like time off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like I want to go to the beach and just have a nothing day of going to the beach, stuff like that. And it's like, no. You're traveling 4 hours and driving up here, and then traveling another 8 hours the next day. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound super fun.
Yeah.
That aspect.
You try, you squeeze all the enjoyment you can out of it, and it is still great to see everybody. for
Yeah,
sure.
it's still good to see family for sure. But being so far away does make it difficult.
Yeah.
So what was that's the dog, Drecker, as we've mentioned on Dodo Birds before. But so what was the other article?
Yeah, let's try to breeze through that
Move
one
on to the
quick.
next
So a nice little segue. We got the whole. When should you get a Christmas gift for your girlfriend's family?
Okay, yeah, these are actually the Reddit questions, but that's fine. Yeah.
you.
There was another article, but yeah, we're fine. We're
Okay.
fine. We'll just do this.
Or we can come back to it too, like if we wanted to breeze through that other.
Sure. What was it? It's up on the tabs there. No,
Not
Did
that one.
Oh yeah, I looked up if there was podcast awards. There was, but this was the one we were doing.
And then one more. Bingo. That's right. It was one you found
Okay.
actually. Yeah, it was the stamp
one. Okay.
the stamp one. So talk a little bit about that. Why a single inverted Jenny stamp sold for $2 million at auction. A fucking stamp.
I didn't know it was called the inverted Jenny, but it's the upside down airplane stamp. If anybody's heard of that.
Right. Yeah. And when the video, because also I'll mention this real quick. We're going to release this episode probably just as audio at first, and then we'll release the video down the road, and it will have all of the things. We'll be putting up pictures that we're looking at.
Yeah.
So you can you'll be able to see the stamp. Hell,
If
we
you're
might
not familiar with it, yeah.
I don't know if we can use its likeness for the image, for the thumbnail.
It's in the. Yeah, we'll
it's in the
figure it
article.
out.
But anyways, it's an upside down airplane, and Ian's actually seen this thing before. I had never even heard of it till today.
Right. I guess it used to be more of a, a legendary thing, but it actually, totally does exist. But yeah, it was misprinted. The airplane on it was misprinted upside down and became, the most valuable stamp.
Does it say when it just sold?
Uh,
Or like when it sold?
Yeah, the $2 million. 2021? Or yeah.
yeah, at least it was on
That was
display
on
at Sotheby's in 2021. So
Okay.
that's probably when it happened.
So it was probably very recent then. It might be closer to the top too.
That's cool though.
The
like-
article is
is
from-
dated November 20th,
Yeah, yeah,
2023. So man, it was
But
probably
it is just a why did it sell retrospective almost could be. Like maybe it did sell in, what was the picture? 2021 and might have.
Cool. That doesn't matter.
Right. The stamp itself is from 1918.
Okay.
And I was saying earlier that in a movie I saw with it's called Brewster's Millions, the whole plot of it is that the guy gets $30 million that he has to spend in 30 days, and if he does this, that he gets $300 million. But if he doesn't spend it all, then he loses it all.
Okay.
And one of the ways he spends a lot of money is to pay $1 million for one of these stamps, and then to actually mail it, making it worthless.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, because you can't have any assets. Also, it was it was a pretty interesting movie.
I bet
actually.
stamp collectors like.
Yeah.
If anybody, a stamp collector watches that movie, I bet that like hurts them.
Oh yeah,
Right.
You're putting it on a letter. Oh my God, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, the rich bankers
Panic
that are
attack.
like waiting for him to fail in the movie too are like, oh, what a dumb move. That's like an asset that's only going to grow in value and everything like that. And then they like get a letter from the guy with the stamp up in the corner, and,
Oh, that's great.
and it's been stamped.
That's a good
Nice.
bit.
So yeah, they're just like, that you feel the pain in their eyes, like when they see it destroyed.
That's really cool, though. That is a good idea for a movie.
Yeah, it was
When
pretty
did that
interesting.
movie come out? You have any idea?
Probably late 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
When movies
John
were starting to
Candy.
get good. Oh, that's
John
right. You said
Candy,
John
Richard
Candy's
Pryor.
in it. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Oh, it says that in the article. It says that people they've heard of this stamp, but they weren't even familiar with what it looked like.
Right.
That's crazy.
It is.
Huh. That's
kind
cool.
of-
So it's like finding like a super rare, like legendary status collectible. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um,
And I guess it was 4 stamps, still interlocked together,
damn.
all.
In good condition too.
Yeah, it looks
They
like
look
they
like
are
it,
in really
yeah.
good condition.
The battery's low.
Um,
Oh,
did it turn off?
it did.
Oh, wow. So they all come from like a single sheet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it looks like we're good.
Are we
Are both
recording?
recording? Are you getting sound waves from both of us on?
It looks like it.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool.
Cool. We're golden.
All right. Sorry, we had a little technical difficulty, but we are
Technical
back.
camera difficulty.
Yeah, and we'll just go ahead and move on past the stamp collection. That's cool though.
Yeah.
So now we are going to try a new format here, and this is Wise Words for Dodo Birds. So we are going to try to do a little bit of advice. One
yes.
day we would like to get to the point where people call in with advice, but nobody's listening yet. So we'll get there.
You are our only listener,
yeah.
whoever you are.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be polling stuff off of Reddit. We're subscribed to quite a few different advice subreddits. So it's going to be a big swath of different topics, but we're going to start with a light one here. Take it away, Sam.
Well, it says, so when should you get a Christmas gift for your girlfriend's family? Ian, you want to explain
Read the rest of it?
read the rest of it, basically?
All right, yeah. So we have been dating for about 7 months, and I see her family fairly often. Do you think I would be expected to get a gift for their family, parents, and sister?
Okay, so what I'm seeing from that is just from the little bit of information that we got is this person doesn't even know if they're expected to get a gift. I just wouldn't spend a ton of money on it.
Yeah, and also like 7 months. A food gift, a bottle of wine is always great.
Exactly,
I don't know
something
how old
easy.
this person is.
I like that they did
Yeah.
the mother, the father, like the whole,
Parents and sister, yeah.
because like I'm sure. Yeah, because like that makes it a little trickier. It's like, what is the etiquette to?
Yeah.
And I mean,
If the sister's of a younger age, you might want to get her a gift just because she's in that age that wants presents, kind of thing. And
It definitely depends on like the buyer or like the poster's financial situation as well as the family. If the family's super well off, you could
Yeah.
honestly you could make them something or get them something meaningful. you know, or because like you're not going to be able to wow them.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can't buy everybody a Lexus.
Again, given the information that we have, also only 7 months together, you know, you're not even, I personally wouldn't even expect a gift at all from a new girlfriend or,
Yeah.
you know, so like the idea of getting stuff for family, it's totally reasonable to just not do that. I would recommend if, you know, if you want to, I guess the question isn't about the girlfriend herself. So like, definitely do that. But the family, I don't think there's anything wrong with not doing that.
You're not expected at this point.
Yeah, I would say
Like,
next year.
I would
You're
say
in the
yes
first
and
year.
No. I would say yes and no because you are invited to their Christmas party, and as any kind of invitee,
Yeah.
you will kind of want to bring something like I said, like a bottle of wine or
Yeah.
something else.
So the
Yeah, or
poster
a
has
pie, maybe.
he has
A
an
pie, yeah.
opportunity
Yeah, absolutely.
to be the cool guy here, because I don't think like if you're under the 1 year of the relationship like territory, you're not expected.
Right.
But if he comes with the bottle of wine or like the cheese platter, like you were saying,
Yeah.
like people, you automatically win brownie points.
Exactly.
You know.
And
Like,
another thing I would say is that this is also the kind of situation where you can straight up ask, "Can I bring something?"
Yeah. Or
Like,
should
just-
I bring
or should
something?
I bring
Yeah,
something?
like it is not seen as like rude or like uncouth or whatever you want to say, like to ask that question. It doesn't break any etiquette lines, I don't think, especially in this situation. It's like you just say, "Hey, should I bring something? Should I bring a bottle of wine? Should I bring a pie?"
Yeah. And to the poster, who we will not name, but we will leave a comment. A little more context would help too.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, the posting is pretty generic, and so we're keeping it pretty generic.
But I like that.
and-
Yeah.
we did pick
And if
this
we
one.
also want to
Yeah.
just say outside of the whole food thing, because that is kind of a separate thing, the question is actually like, should they get a Christmas
Right,
gift?
actual gifts, and that's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say. Like when it comes to things like the general things like that sounds like a great idea. As far as actual gifts, though, I think at 7 months I'm gonna say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is that. Now you know if you do
can,
it,
you can put your name on something she gets her parents or something like that. You
and
know,
if you're flush with cash, you know, and we're talking about 2 parents and a sister, you know, you got $60, throw 20 on each one, get them something. Sure, nothing wrong with
Right.
that.
Yeah.
but like.
something that's not
You know, fucking $20 iTunes gift card. You
something
know,
not too expensive. Not
sorry, iTunes doesn't exist anymore.
No. People, a lot of iTunes
You're
gift
dating
cards
yourself.
still coming
Oh,
out.
okay, cool. So yeah, something like that. Absolutely, great idea. But you also you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah.
that's how we'll sum it up, is that you're not required to. However, you have the opportunity to be a cool guy, and
Yeah,
You know,
just
like-
show up and be
Yeah.
cool and just handing out gift cards. Like it is one of those things. Like the thought matters. Like it's still money that they paid to
and
get
you
'em.
don't. It sounds like he doesn't know these people, so
Yeah.
like you can
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like
customize a
gifts-
gift for someone you
Gifts
don't
should
know.
be from, especially like the more you know about somebody, the better your gift's going to be. And yeah, if you find out that they're a great lover of cheese, you can get them a cheese of the month club or something like that, and it would be a perfect gift for them. So
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
So
But
yeah,
like something more personal.
I think that's the advice. That's what we'll
Cool.
say is like,
Yeah.
you're not expected to, but if you do, you have the opportunity to be a cool guy. However, you can use this year, the first first Christmas with your girlfriend, to do some inside.
do some digging.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
spying. take a look around the house, see if the dad is into a sports
Oh,
team.
yeah.
Right.
You know, you get to.
There's
go
a lot
in.
of work you can do if you're going to this Christmas. So
Yeah.
Espionage.
Get to it.
And definitely first thing you should do is maybe just ask your girlfriend straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ian's the only one coming out of the gate here with like the just ask advice.
Yeah.
You know, don't be afraid.
Yeah. I mean, just be honest and
Which, that
admit
is-
your ignorance in the situation. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, maybe
Solid
asking the
advice.
girlfriend instead of Reddit. But good luck to you.
Yeah. Reddit's not.
Yeah, that's
luck to
actually
you,
a great
poster.
point that I didn't even think of. Like, why are you even asking us?
That's
Ask your
kind of why I was
girlfriend.
thinking like asking the girlfriend's not an option. like she might get offended because
Yeah.
he's going
He's
to
trying to seem like he's put together. He wants to be
Right,
put
he
together,
wants to
like
figure it
has
out
all
on
the
his own.
answers. And
Yeah,
it's-
yeah. Act like you have answers.
yeah, absolutely. But this is one of those situations where it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I'm for that also. Like the whole act like you have answers. I'm down with that.
Yeah. No, and that's it seems like it's like do a little whoever this is doing a little bit of work before maybe they do resort to what you've been saying, which is
Sure.
like should I just get it or not? Like I don't want cuz I think there's people maybe who are afraid to like get something and seem like that was it's like wow, you're like you're too
That-
nice or what
Yeah.
It's super
but-
weird that you
Yeah,
got
plus
my
weird.
dad a new wallet.
Yeah.
There's also the whole like, he got me something, so I have to get them something.
Exactly.
So maybe he's worried
like,
about
oh.
that, and that is
Oh
something
yeah,
to be
that's
worried
a
about.
good point.
Some people are actually upset when that happens, when they get gifts, and it's like now I feel obligated to get you something.
That's where the financial status would be
Yeah.
nice to know because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you don't want to like guilt people if
and that's
they're,
why
like-
also the food thing is always a good idea.
yeah
'Cause
everybody
it's like nobody expects you to like, come
everybody
back with
likes
it.
booze and cheese or
Well, and
cookies.
they don't feel like they owe you something.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
feel like they have to buy you a bottle of wine in return unless they're
Yeah.
coming to your party next year. And
Yeah.
it's just something you do for the host, and it's innocuous, doesn't mean anything. Nothing is expected in reciprocation, So
Cool. Well, we'll type that up and post here and post that up. And good luck to you, Reddit user. And we got another one lined up.
yeah,
here?
we got one more setup.
You want to zoom
Little
in on
shift.
that?
Yeah, a little shift from the holiday spirits. Why do I cry after receiving any sort of criticism?
Could you zoom in? For us?
Remember, it's the control.
Control. Whoa.
There we go.
Nice.
Yeah. So it says, I'm pretty sure that's not a normal reaction, and it doesn't even have to be openly a critique. It's even if I just feel that somebody is disappointed in me or upset. Where does that come from? Is it just a part of anxiety? So immediately I am going to say yes. It's
Yeah.
probably just a part of anxiety.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so this is a thing that you have to kind of dissect a little bit, because if you have an anxiety problem, I don't exactly know what the best advice for that is. However, if you just have normal anxiety because of,
Right.
somebody giving you any sort of criticism, you just need to fight through that. I used to have it.
I think
know?
you nailed it by like pointing out one that it definitely is a form of anxiety, but maybe this is just a symptom that is less common.
Yeah.
People have like agoraphobia where they, get frazzled in busy places, but this is a less common anxiety. Mm-hmm. And so, and it's got to go deep, from somewhere. Like that feeling that you want to, that it makes you uncomfortable when people are nice to you or give you praise or something. It's got to come from somewhere deep-seated.
Right.
And recognizing that is like the first step of like choosing not to reprogramming your brain,
Well, and there's a degree like
Yeah, with each coming every reaction, like you're learning a little bit more how to handle it better and better the next time.
Yeah, if you can recognize that's what it is, then you can work on it.
Yeah.
yeah, there's that aspect of it. So there's the positive too, and then there's a positive way you can take it. Be like, all right, it's something I can improve on rather
Yeah.
than
Right.
something you can cry about. And there's also the case of not everybody's fucking opinion matters.
Yeah,
whatever their
there's
criticism
definitely-
of you is, it could be something
Yeah. Always
totally
remember that.
you don't need to pay attention to. But it is something just to take a hard look at yourself rather than
I think
crying.
that's what they're saying is that like, it seems involuntary.
yeah.
That no matter what it is, why do I always end up crying? And so got to think about like yeah, where that might stem
seems,
from.
Again, from the information we're given, it's like if if it even seems like someone's disappointed in them or upset, and they're like, where does that come from? And it's like it's a need to be liked. It's a need to be liked, and you have to shed that. For
But you
everyone.
also you have to
I
realize
have that with people I care about. You know, like if I get that feeling that someone I'm close to is disappointed, I feel it. I don't want to cry, but like it's like I have to. This has to be fixed. You know, like
Right.
But you know, it sounds like it could just be anybody, and that's why they're saying I think it's not a normal reaction, because it sounds like it's
a
it
bit
could
of
be
an
a
extreme
coworker.
reaction, but like I think everybody goes through like, you know, like an upset moment after they've disappointed somebody or somebody is upset with them. It's like it's
It's an emotional spectrum. Like you're allowed, or it's perfectly normal to feel a way about that, but if it makes them upset that they have to cry, you know, maybe try to put that in check and, you know, find a
Right.
different outlet for it. Or
Well, and it also, we don't know how old this person is. I mean, it could be
Right.
something you'll grow out of.
and if they're also talking about social media, like
See,
don't pay half of that any
and
mind. Like,
that is another thing. If you're talking about a social media comment on something, and
Yeah.
you're like, and you know, maybe you have like some followers, like you actually have some, you know, like we don't,
right.
and you know, a lot of it's coming in as the negative shit. That is, you chose in that case to be some kind of an internet presence, and you're getting that no matter what. You are
Yeah,
not
and
getting-
also
you
like
need to live with
because of that, because you know that, like, don't pay any of it.
exactly, and you can't
you know.
give into that at all.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's a really good point, is that if it does just get started in a Twitter comment, then maybe for your own mental health, it's best to stay
out
off
of the
of that,
comment
or
section.
limit
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and try to like,
because they're trying to make you cry.
yeah.
Let's be
Well,
honest.
exactly. That's what
It's like
say if it's
they
on
get the
there.
dopamine from making you cry. Like that's their whole point.
Definitely.
So you're just giving them what they want in that case.
Yeah.
and so don't do it. But,
But
you know, if
if
this
there are
is-
other people who are disappointed in you and it makes you cry, then that's telling you something that you need to work on. You know, if like your parents are upset with you, that's something you do, and you know that it's wrong, and you know that you should work on it, and that makes you cry, like that's telling you that you should work on it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
should do better. You know,
and now again, I'm not getting this vibe from our comment, or from our post here, but I do want to say, like, there are people who just say mean shit.
Yeah.
And you could have someone abusive, or a handful of abusive people in your life that are just, again, trying to make you cry.
And I bet that's where it stems from. Is
could
that
be.
there are probably some interactions where somebody was mean,
Yeah.
like, and so any sort of this uncomfortable feeling, it's just like I have to let it all out, you know. And they obviously want relief from a lot of these situations. So
And in that case, and if that was that used to be the case, and now you just break down every time, maybe because you clearly have the wherewithal to think of it and ask about it on Reddit. So maybe in that moment you can try to be like, you know, I don't have to, you know, I don't have to be this way right now. I can stop. I can think. Take a breath. You know, like when I was a kid, especially for a boy, I cried a lot as I got older. You know, probably up till I was like even 10 years old. You know.
yeah,
And one thing that helped a lot, a guidance counselor was telling me just stop and breathe. You know, and that
take a second.
yeah,
yeah,
you know,
so it definitely can be part of like that would be like an anxiety thing. It's like you're literally so amped up and so you know, adrenaline rushed and all that stuff.
I mean, I still go
Like,
through it
Crying is like a natural outlet for that. Absolutely.
with my temper. Ian, you
Yeah.
hear me bitch about it all the time.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things. Like I have to stop because I'll get angry. You know, I'll
Yeah.
get to the point where it feels like my head's gonna explode.
And unless you
that's
recognize
also
it, it
maturity.
snowballs.
Yeah,
like-
it's also maturity though. It's like being aware of your faults and like when you need to like take a step back is a sign of maturity, and we all go through that. You know, so
Yeah. And if they're not in, like, if they're unaware, undiagnosed with anxiety, it pretty clearly sounds like some sort of form of it. So maybe, you know, therapy is powerful stuff, you know, just rehashing some memories and stuff that you don't get to connect with somebody on a deep level like that. because usually people are not trying to hear about traumatic events. So
Right.
therapy it's more accessible than it's ever been, and
Yeah.
this might be something they're clearly trying to work on it. So it might be
Yeah.
something you want to focus.
That's the part
with.
about it. that
Yeah.
Rather than somebody, this person doesn't sound like they're asking the rest of the world to accept that they cry about everything. It sounds
No.
like they're like, I need to fix this.
Yeah,
And so
Right.
that in itself,
they don't
is
like it.
Yeah, that in itself is a good
And the
thing.
fact that it's a Reddit post makes me think that it is social media connected, and like literally don't listen. Don't
if
listen
it's-
to any of those people. Like
Yeah,
people troll people.
focus on the
people
good
get
stuff.
off on making you cry.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, let's
But-
sum it up to a nice.
Yeah, our final
Package.
wise words. Well, first off, with it being December, enjoy the holidays. Like we learned that there's a lot of different ways you can do that if you want to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
From this particular episode. And if you have family, try and spend it with them. If you can't spend it with them, spend it with your surrogate families, your friends. That kind of stuff.
or like just spend your time around people that don't make you feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to nourish the healthy parts.
Yeah.
Limit your reactions in
Or just call a friend. Like
yeah.
yeah, like seriously, just some kind of connection on during these holiday days. Or
And if you don't even have anybody, just try to limit yourself from the people that do make you feel this way.
Exactly. Yeah. If there aren't good people in your life that you can turn to, at least turn from the bad ones.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
maybe it's at work or something where somebody's like, "Oh, you're not making my sandwich fast enough," or
Yeah.
whatever. Those people are going to be gone,
And
they don't need to have an impact in your life because people that speak meanly or mean-spirited so freely, they don't think about you when they leave that subway.
yeah.
And so you shouldn't think about them. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well,
giving them way more power in a situation that
Well, and I'll say on that note, if it's a subway, if it's something like that, like just smile. Because, first off, customer service, you can't get in trouble for smiling, and it's going to piss them off so much.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen.
There's definitely-
Our dodo birds know that I deliver pizza. I literally, there was a guy that was giving another employee shit one time. And I said something to him. I did no cursing, right? But he was cursing at the other employee. And I told him, I was like, look, we don't have to serve you if you're going to get and I had a big smile on my face. And I just stood there while the other employee finished helping him. And he did not like the fact that I was standing there smiling at him, which is the number one rule in customer service. Do it with a smile.
kill them with
Yeah.
kindness.
Right.
Yeah.
And he even said, as he was, I'll wipe that fucking smirk off your face. And then I actually started laughing.
I remember that. Yeah.
That's
I was there.
Yeah, you were the employee. Yeah, didn't
And-
want to throw you under the bus, but it was the thing. It was just he was like, yeah, I'll wipe that fucking smirk off your face, and I finally
Yeah.
started laughing. I was like, I won.
yeah, definitely.
He tried to upset us, and then just left all pissed off.
And if the
Yeah.
poster cannot get their feelings under control, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but if you're still working during your process of still working on not feeling so emotional, if you do just smile to the maximum quality, crank the smile all the way up, and if you cry on top of that, no one will fuck with you ever again, I promise. Because the condescending message of smiling while crying will definitely leave an impact on them.
Yeah.
It'll send some kind of
So use it as a
Weird.
superpower if you cannot get rid of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And in the point of getting rid of it, it is something that because you don't have an outlet for these feelings, you just break down and cry. So finding an outlet or finding a way to diffuse those feelings
Go for a
is
jog,
important. Yeah.
hit the heavy bag,
Yeah.
read a book,
smoke some weed.
Yeah.
Listen to
if you
music.
can.
If you can, if you're in a state where it's legal, because we only promote legal things here.
Right,
on Wise
right,
Words for
yes,
Dodo
of
Birds.
Yeah, finding a healthy outlet. I think that's astute.
Yeah. And sometimes crying is a healthy outlet. So
It can be. There is
So-
a time for it.
There is a
don't
time.
hate on it that much.
Yeah, but you don't want your reservoir to be empty all the time.
Yeah.
Save the good cry for
Yeah.
sometimes you
absolutely.
really need it.
And it helps, actually. Yeah.
It does help. I think that was good.
Yeah.
I think we can wrap it up with just a little summary.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about some things in regards to different ways to celebrate the holidays, secular ways apparently.
Yeah.
You can do
Stamp
that.
collecting.
That movie. I might actually watch that movie that Ian mentioned.
It is actually really good.
We talked about some of our family traditions, as well as we got into some, we're helping the people.
Yeah.
We're a podcast of the people now.
Well, we tried a new formula. We're
gonna
look
try
at some
some
current
stuff.
events and give a little advice on Reddit. It might be something different next time. We're not sure what we're gonna do, but we're gonna just try to, and again, we have our third member, Ian. Welcome, Ian. Thank you guys so much for listening.
So
Great
if
being
this
here.
was even 1 out of 10 enjoyable, and you do want to see more of this format, it's only going to get better. This is the dry run.
Yeah.
So thank you for sticking with us, folks. We're always going to get better every week. That's one thing we can promise. So yeah, I hope you guys had a good time, and thanks for watching.
And shout out to Slim Pickens as always, as you're hearing him probably right about now.
On the intro, baby.
Oh,
the
yeah.
outro.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you.
Adios.